All right, commissioners, we are now live. We do have all commissioners as well as the acting county attorney on the line.
Thank you, Monica, and good afternoon, everyone. Today is May 13th, 2021, and this is a special session. And I will read the public charge. The Board of Commissioners asks its members and citizens to conduct themselves in a respectful, courteous manner, both with the board and fellow citizens. At any time, should any member of the board or any citizen fail to observe this public charge, the chair will ask the offending person to leave the meeting until that individual regains personal control. Should decorum fail to be restored, the chair will recess the meeting until such time that a genuine commitment to the public charge is observed. A closed session, I'm going to read the statute or first. The statute for us to go into closed session, the board is requested to adjourn into closed session for the following: to consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the attorney and the public body, which privilege is hereby acknowledged to GS 143-318.11A3. Need a motion to go into closed session.
So moved. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think it's moved by Commissioner Carter, second by Commissioner Jacobs. Can I get a roll call?
Commissioner Alam.
Aye.
Commissioner Burns.
Aye.
Commissioner Carter.
Aye.
Vice Chair Jacobs.
Aye.
And Chair Howerton.
Aye, we are moving into closed session.
Give me 1 second. I just want to confirm that we have everyone on. Commissioner Hahn, Commissioner Burns, Commissioner Jacobs, Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Howerton. Okay, Chair Howerton, we have all the commissioners on the line. We also have Acting County Attorney Willie Darby and Attorney Denise Klein.
Thank you, Monica. We have met in closed session and directions have been given to staff. Commissioners, what's your direction? Commissioner Jacobs?
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's several motions that I would like to bring forward to a vote for the full board. The first motion is that the board is making a decision under Section 4 of the current contractual relation, the current contract with the county manager to not renew this contract, and that therefore the contract will terminate on June 29th, 2021, and that the board will comply with all obligations under the current contract. That is the first, this is, so I make that as my motion.
Second.
So we have a motion in the second discussion. Are there any discussions?
Commissioner Howerton, as board chair, I know you probably want to go last. So I will simply say that this decision was made without any discussion with any Black board members. It was done with, I will prepare my statement. I'm trying to hearken back to what I was told as a child. If you don't have anything nice to say. So for the community, I will be making the statements on the accolades of a county manager who has gone out of his way to build a business, to build up our schools, to build up a magnificent team that for 7 years straight has kept this county in the best financial situation of any county in the Southeast. This was not done based on merit. This was done on personal decisions. Sitting before me, I see a rope, a knot, and a tree. And I have nothing else to say.
Thank you, Commissioner Burns. So I do have a prepared statement that I will read. And right now, what I am left with is a knee on the neck. The knee on the neck of a Black man. I have a few words to share. I have lived through many adverse racial situations, including the Jim Crow era. This motion is perhaps one of the most racially motivated I have witnessed on this board in my 12 years of service. It is indeed a very sad day for Durham, for North Carolina, and the country if board members opt to not renew the county manager's contract. We are here because last year, the county manager, Mr. Wendell Davis, had the audacity to call to our attention the fact that he and county staff were experiencing racial bias by Commissioner Carter, a white woman. Since that time, this board has received confrontations, that a number of staff have for some time been negatively impacted physically, mentally, and emotionally by witnessing or personally experiencing the racial trauma inflicted on the county manager and themselves by board members. Instead of working together as a unified body to address pathology named in the Coleman report that exists on this board, under the previous leadership by receiving racial equity, ethics, and board training, a vote is being called to not renew the county manager's contract. Mr. Davis is a top performing business professional who is highly regarded among his peers and industries across this country. This entire situation since last year is reminiscent of the Central Park woman who called the police on a Black man when he brought to her attention that she was not following the rules of the park about dogs in a certain era. The woman was angry, and instead of acknowledging her mistake and correcting it, she made a conscious decision to demoralize the Black man because she knew that law enforcement and public opinion tend to work in her favor as a white woman. Unfortunately, this happens every day and everywhere. Since the times of slavery, operating out of white fragility continues to be dangerous and deadly for people of color, in particular, Black men. People in the community see exactly what is happening very clearly and have been sounding the alarm. We have received numerous emails and calls, community member groups, and universities, and I so appreciate their participation, have partnered to host community meetings and forums to shine a bright light on this particular issue regarding the manager's concerns, commissioners, and racism. We must not turn a deaf ear or a blind eye to what is happening here in Durham and on this board that is in plain sight. Please do not further divide our community. To put it plainly, penalizing the county manager for speaking up about racial inequity places those of us who choose this path on the wrong side of history. No matter how you rationalize it, no matter how many times you use racial equity language at every meeting, your actions speak much louder than any of the words. It's wrong, it's retaliatory, it is violent, it is racist. It is important that we discuss this issue and reach decisions as a unified body. Why the rush? We have not had an opportunity as a board to review the county manager's performance appraisal. We have not followed through on recommendations from the Coleman report, an investigation the board paid to conduct. We have not taken the Racial Equity Task Force recommendations into consideration. We have not identified board training for us to address the racial tension on this board. Similar to the county manager's concerns, we have not addressed county employees' cries for help because their perception of the board members are racially biased against Black staff. We have not actively listened as a board to community leaders who have put their faith and trust in us to make just decisions. To our newest commissioners, please hear me. You have been a commissioner for 5 months. There are so many aspects of this complex issue that you have not had an opportunity to know or explore. I know firsthand, sometimes it takes courage and fortitude to withstand pressure from many sides to do what you know is right to do. We will never please everyone, but we must always do what is just. Martin Luther King said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. It does not bend on its own. It requires us to do our part to move toward justice." Please consider the irreparable damage that a decision to not renew the manager's contract when you may not have all the information and we as a board have not done all the work to be truly fair and equitable employers. Please consider the harm to the county employees, Durham County, and the community. We are so much better than this. Durham County deserves us to bring our best to serve as we carry out the duties of elected officials. The saddest and the least mentioned in this entire situation is about county staff who were also referenced in the manager's letter of concern. What about them? What actions were taken to address their concerns of affected employees under the previous board leadership? What are the chances any county employee coming forward about racial trauma or oppression inflicted by commissioners? What message is this board sending to county employees? I will tell you, it is a loud and clear message that commissioners are accountable to no one. And if we offend or are racially insensitive to county employees, you had better keep your mouths shut or you will face our wrath. That type of toxic message to Durham County employees or anyone else is completely unacceptable to me as a commissioner and as a human being. Again, taking this action about the county manager at this time when the functionality of a board is at issue is a huge mistake. Again, why the rush? We must first put in the work of examining ourselves and then make a decision from a healthy place. I'm imploring that we work together in unity for a just and fair resolution. That is the end of my statement. So at this point, the clerk, you can call the roll.
Commissioner Alam.
Aye.
Commissioner Carter.
Aye.
Commissioner Burns.
Absolutely not. This is racist.
Vice Chair Jacobs
Yes.
and Chair Howerton.
No. Vote is passes 3-2. There's another motion, Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I have a second motion, which is to relieve the county manager effective immediately of his duties, and that we will be appointing an interim county manager.
Second.
There's been a motion, a second. Clerk will call the roll.
Commissioner Alam.
Aye.
Commissioner Burns.
No.
Commissioner Carter.
Aye.
Vice Chair Jacobs
Yes.
and Chair Howerton.
No. Motion passes 3-2. Is there any other business that we need? Yes, Commissioner Jacobs?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have an additional motion, is that we appoint Attorney Klein to assist us with this process and all of the decisions that have been made and the execution of them thereafter.
Second.
I don't understand your motion. From a legal perspective, Darby, would you clarify for the public what she just said?
I don't want to put words in her mouth. Maybe she should clarify.
Okay. We're appointing Attorney Klein to assist us with the decisions and actions that the board, has taken and the execution of any of the obligations or actions associated with those decisions.
How can we appoint an attorney, this order, Madam Chair, how can we appoint an attorney to do something outside of a current contract? We haven't put out an RFP. I'm asking Attorney Darby, the person with the law degree.
I wouldn't think you would need an RFP to do that, to hire an attorney. You already have a lady on contract. And if you want to extend that and you want to have her help you execute the documentation to carry out the motions, that would be perfectly in order.
Well, I would like for them to say extension as opposed to appoint. They've
Definitely
unappointed
not
3 Black
appoint.
attorneys already.
Either hire or extend.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. So an extension of the existing contract to include extension of the existing contract with Attorney Klein to assist with the decisions the board has taken and the process and any of the actions that are associated with the execution of these decisions.
One other piece of that, I would ask that there's something around are we keeping the contract cost wise the same? Are we increasing the contract dollar wise? There's no details about what you are saying. We're saying extending the contract. Is that at the rate that we have for hourly rate? What are you saying?
Extending the contract would be at the existing rate.
You don't have confirmation that it's at the existing rate. That was never communicated. Confirm for me if that was communicated. That was never communicated.
I'm gonna call to I've made a motion, and do we have a second?
We don't have a rate on that one. We can't vote on it.
An extension of
second
the
it.
existing contract has a rate in the contract. Okay, thank you.
Well, now that we're at a weird discussion, she seconded already. Put your hand down.
Okay.
And so, like I was saying, I was like, we don't know. The only thing that attorney did beforehand was document review. You all are asking them to do other things that are outside of a simple doc review, something that a child could do. So if you're asking for additional services, the cost might be different. I know you all thought you laid out a very well laid out plan. You have fired a person without notice. Now you want to hire somebody and you have no idea how much it costs. My question is, how much money are you going to waste of the county's dollars? We are broke as it is when it comes to attorneys. I'm not going to vote for the motion anyway, but the last thing I want to do is open us up to any further litigation because you all don't have a price. And if I'm not mistaken, Attorney Klein went into a meeting at 3 o'clock, so she can't even confirm or deny that the cost that she gave us in the beginning is the actual cost. But you all can continue to break the law. Go for it.
You have a motion on the floor, Madam Chair.
So we carrying a motion through that there is unreadiness, given there's no definitiveness around the contract. Is that what we're doing?
I feel completely ready. I don't think there's a lack of definitiveness. I second the motion still and would call for a vote if we could, please.
So, Monica, you want to call for the vote?
Commissioner Alam, Aye. Commissioner Burns,
No.
Commissioner Carter,
Aye.
Vice Chair Jacobs,
Yes.
and Chair Howerton.
It's hard to even comment on something that is so ill-equipped in the way we're doing business. My response, my answer is no. And for the record, we don't do contracts that we have no idea what the cost is. We don't do contracts that we haven't discussed to that point. Not when I've not done them in the 12 years that I've been on this board. So I am just ashamed. I am ashamed of this board. I am just ashamed. So the motion passes 3-2. If there's no other business.
I have a question, Commissioner
Madam Chair,
Howard.
just for the
Monica,
record.
are we on YouTube?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
I'm getting complaints from the public that they cannot see what is going on right now.
Yes, ma'am. We're live on YouTube. I'm looking
Right.
at it on the screen.
Madam Chair, I would say that up to this point, the motion was to extend the contract under whatever terms you all first agreed to. And if she declines to accept that, she has that right to do so as well. Then you'll have to negotiate a new contract.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Monica, you call the roll?
Commissioner Long. Aye. Commissioner Burns,
No.
Commissioner Carter,
Aye.
Vice Chair Jacobs,
Aye.
and Chair Howerton.
Are we voting to adjourn?
Yes, ma'am.
So moved. We're adjourned.